Hey you guys, good evening. We'll get started in just a minute. Want to give people a chance to hop on live. I'm getting everything pulled up here on my computer so that I can make sure that I can see your comments. Hey Angie. Something has all of a sudden started making me itch. Not sure what it is, but okay. Let's see here. Okay, awesome. So I know there'll be people kind of hopping in as we get started. And I'll share in just a minute what I'm going to do for the giveaway. Hey Jamie, hey Angie. And I'll probably just remind everyone as people start to hop in and see that I'm live. Hey Lori. Okay, so tonight we are going to be talking about the biggest health concerns that people face. Now, as we go through, please comment, at least let me know you're here, say hey, give me a thumbs up, something like that, because I'm going to do a giveaway at the end for those who comment. And if you have questions throughout the class, then please post those in the comments. I've got my computer up, even though I'm from my phone, I have my computer up so that I can see the comments. So I'll be happy to answer those. So this is kind of a class, this is one of the classes that I love to teach, not only for brand new people coming in who don't know a lot about natural solutions yet, but also every time you hear this information, if you're already using essential oils, I think that sometimes it just resonates with you in a little bit of a different way. I know that I always learn something new from any class that I attend, even if I've heard it several times. So let's get started. And we're going to kind of cover the basics first for those people who don't know a lot about oils, have not used them before maybe, and just really need that kind of good foundation of understanding. So first, like, what is an oil, right? So these oils that we talk about all the time, that we use for everything, they just come from plants. And the nice thing about that is plants have a similar cell structure to our body. So what that means is our bodies know exactly how to use the oils, and they work with our body really well. They help to restore balance in our body. So the oils are just extracted from the plants. Now, sometimes people ask, how is that different than an herb? So herbs are the ground part of the plant, whether it's the leaf, the stem, the bark, whatever the case may be. And oils are up to 70 times stronger than herbs. Now a lot of people are familiar with using herbs for medicinal purposes, but maybe not so much oils. I just always want to let people know up front, you only need a very, very small amount because they're so potent, especially the oils that we'll talk about tonight, doTERRA's brand of oils, and I'll tell you why they're so potent in just a few minutes. But you typically only need 1 to 3 drops per application. So they really go a long way and last a long time. Now, first I want to talk about the 3 ways to use the oils. There are 3 ways to use them. The first one is aromatically. And I'm just going to show you, just for those people who maybe don't even know anything about oils or diffusing oils. This is a diffuser. This is actually one of my favorite diffusers. It's called the Petal Diffuser. And just think of it like a humidifier. If you're not familiar with this, you just put water in it. You put a couple of drops of your oil or oils of choice, and it mists out into the air. Now, why would you use these oils aromatically? There's a couple of reasons. First, they help to cleanse the air and rid the air of germs and bacteria. So that's a very nice benefit, especially during cold and flu season, right? Actually, a lot of hospitals around the country diffuse oils, in their facility for that reason, to rid the air of germs, bacteria, that kind of thing. Now, the next reason is one of the reasons that I love, makes everything smell good, right? So if we can eliminate some toxins in our environment, we're automatically going to take our health up a notch. Okay. Now, what I'm talking about are things like plug-ins, the things that smell good, that we want our home to smell good, but things like plug-ins and candles are extremely toxic. In fact, you may have heard that candles are kind of like the new secondhand smoke. So they are very toxic to us. So if we can replace them with something that not only smells good, cleanses the air, rids it of bacteria, but then also can affect our mood, that's like a total win-win, I think. So that's another way that we use them aromatically, is to affect our mood. It's one of actually the fastest ways to affect your mood is to breathe in an essential oil. So using them aromatically for emotional support or mood support, you could choose an oil if you were kind of feeling down, depressed, or just kind of, down and out one day. You could choose an oil that's very uplifting to put in your diffuser, or even just to breathe in from the bottle. Or I'll give you another example. We'll talk about sleep more in a few minutes, but if you are looking for something to calm you down or help you get a restful night's sleep, that's another great way to use them aromatically, is just to diffuse them on your bedside table. So those are kind of the best ways, or the most common ways to use them aromatically, how they affect our body. And then one last one aromatically is that they help to open up the airways. So I'll talk in a little bit about our respiratory blend, but that one is huge for opening up the airways, helping to break up cough and congestion. So that's another really, really great way to use them aromatically. Now, the second way to use the oils is topically. And I would say this is probably one of the most common ways to use them. I like to think of it as kind of a spot treatment, is what I always say. And what I mean by that is, if you have a specific area of ailment, let's say I have some head tension, or maybe I have my shoulders are tight, or I have some back pain or some knee pain, whatever the case is, you just apply the oils directly to that area. Right directly to the area. And what happens is the oils get absorbed into your skin, into your bloodstream, and really can affect everything in your whole body within a few minutes. But you're kind of getting the concentration right to that specific area. So that is one way to use them topically. Now, if you kind of have more of a systemic illness going on, maybe you've got a cold, let's say, and you're like, well, I don't really know one specific spot, but I want to use something to help me feel better. What we consider kind of the default area is on the bottom of the feet. And the reason for that is you have so many pores on the bottom of your feet that the oils get absorbed within about 30 seconds on the bottom of your feet. So really, really quick, and you can see some really quick results just by applying them to the bottom of the feet. Now, that is probably the best area to put them on children, is right on the bottom of the feet. Also, if you had a really small child and you were worried about them like maybe touching their feet and then touching, say their face or their eyes after you put the oils on their feet, you could always apply the oils along the spine. That's another really great area. Many of the oils come in a convenient little roller bottle like this that you can make your own, and you just roll it right on the spine, and that makes it really easy, and they get absorbed into the skin and the bloodstream that way. Now, when we're applying topically, it is important to dilute a little bit. Now, not all oils are what we consider hot oils. There are only a few of those, things like oregano, thyme, cinnamon. And all that means is if I were to put, say, some oregano straight on my skin, I would experience a little bit of burning sensation and probably a little bit of redness because it's considered a hot oil. So I would always dilute it. But it's honestly always best to dilute if you can, because you get a better absorption. See, the essential oils in the bottles, in these little bottles, the particles are very, very small. And so when you put them with a carrier oil, which is something like a coconut oil. This is a fractionated coconut oil, which just means that it stays liquid at room temperature. And when you pair it with that, this fractionated coconut oil kind of weighs down your essential oil. And so when you're rubbing it on your skin, you're really getting a better absorption, and you're also eliminating the possibility of any kind of sensitivity. I know that I don't have sensitive skin, so sometimes I'm guilty of just grabbing a bottle of an oil and putting it directly on my skin, but it truly is best to dilute. Certainly for children, for anybody with sensitive skin, and for the elderly, because they can have really thin skin sometimes. And so it's just best to dilute in those cases for sure. And I want to mention in terms of dilution, I think my camera is messing up. Sorry. I'm trying to keep my phone propped up. Okay. In terms of not only diluting, but let's say that you did the example that I gave with oregano. Let's say I got some oregano on me. It was hot. It was burning. The natural tendency might be to put it under some water, like some cold water, right? What happens when you do that is water drives the oil in, and so it's actually going to intensify that. So if you ever put oil on and it, feels a little too warm or hot, or you get a little bit of redness, or let's say you stick your finger in your eye, trust me, it's happened to me several times, you just want to take your carrier oil and put it on the area, and it'll go away almost instantaneously, because that just disperses that essential oil, and then the burning or redness or whatever the reaction was goes right away. So I just want to give you that safety tip just to make sure that you know what to do if that were to happen to you. Now, the third and final way to use the oils is internally. Now, I use essential oils internally every day, and I'm going to talk about why quality is so important in just a minute, but I want to make sure that everybody understands that the only oils that you should be ingesting are oils that are 100% pure and that have been thoroughly tested to make sure there's no chemicals, pesticides, synthetics, nothing in them. And so that's why I've chosen to partner with doTERRA, is because their testing and their quality is, nobody else can match it. It is top notch. There are no chemicals, pesticides, nothing in these oils. And if you'll notice, when you go and you buy oils over the counter, I say over the counter, if you go to like a GNC they're selling essential oils everywhere now. If you go and purchase some of those, they will say not for internal use. And the reason for that is that they're full of synthetics. So if it was 100% pure product that had been tested, it would be able to be ingested. Most all of them would be able to be ingested. So that is why those oils say that, is because they have other oils, synthetics in them, and they're diluted. So you're not going to get the results that you probably want, or they're not going to be as effective anyway. So back to why I use them internally. I use them internally every day for a daily detox, just to rid my body of the chemicals and toxins that I put in it, that I put on it, and that I'm exposed to in the environment. Because really, no matter how clean you eat, how clean your products are that you put on your body, how clean your environment is, inevitably there are toxins floating around everywhere. So things like lemon. Lemon is a great one to use for a daily detox. Really, any of the citrus oils will give you that kind of detox and cleansing effect. But when you consume them internally, you want to make sure that you're using either a glass container or a stainless container like this. If you ever see me somewhere, I will always, this is almost like attached to my hand, I will almost always have a water bottle like this with me because I like to stay hydrated. It's good. It's good for your body. It's good for energy. It's good for cellular health. But I always have my essential oils in my water. And if you were to put some essential oils in, say, a plastic cup or a styrofoam cup, it would start to break down the chemicals and the toxins in that product. I did this when I first started using oils about 5.5 years ago because I did not know any better. and the lemon started to break down the styrofoam and started to like basically eat holes in the styrofoam. So I kind of learned that the hard way, because then you're drinking more toxins, which is obviously not the goal. So just make sure that you're using glass or stainless. And this is a 25-ounce water bottle. I put anywhere from 1 to 3 drops of my oil of choice in here. So it's not a lot. A little bit goes a long way. You don't need a lot. Now, the other reason that I take them internally is if I feel like I'm getting sick and coming down with something. And I'll go over a kind of a blend or recipe, so to speak, that we use a lot if we feel like we're getting sick. But you can put them into a veggie capsule. You can really just make your own capsule. This is the easiest way to take them internally, unless you wanted to put them in a little bit of water, and then you could kind of do it like a shot, but it might not taste so great. So I tend to like to just get this veggie capsule, and you just open the capsule, and then you just, drop however many drops. I usually do about 3 drops of each oil in the capsule, pop it back together, and you take it. So that's another way that I personally take them internally. I just keep these veggie caps on hand because it just makes it super simple and easy. So remember, aromatic, topical, internal. Those are the 3 ways to use the oils. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about just quickly is, again, what the difference, local honey is how, that's a good tip, Ashley. So Ashley puts her oils in local honey, which local honey is great for allergies, right? And now that you say that, Ashley, I put the lemon in honey when anybody has a sore throat, because that's a really good sore throat remedy, is a little spoonful of honey, a couple of drops of lemon essential oil, and take that internally. So really that's a great tip. Okay, so quality. I want to just talk for just a minute, just so that you know and understand why quality matters. Excuse me. So quality is important because if we want to get a certain effect, right? We have head tension. We want it to go away, right? We have to have a high quality product, or we're not going to get the results we desire. So often what I've had happen is somebody will come to me and say, I tried that peppermint oil. I was having, a headache, and I tried that peppermint oil and it just didn't work. And so my first question usually is, well, first, how did you apply it? And what kind of peppermint oil did you use? Almost always it is something that they just kind of bought over the counter somewhere. So that, tells me that I already know that they're full of synthetics, but that just shows you that they're not as effective because they're diluted. So what doTERRA does is they actually source their oils from where they natively grow, from their indigenous environment, and that just means where they natively grow. If you do that, you're going to have an extremely high therapeutic quality oil. So take lavender that's growing wild in France versus lavender that I planted in my backyard. What's going to have, that I maybe fertilized and tried to get to grow, what's going to have a higher therapeutic property? It's going to be the lavender that's growing wild, right? And then the way that they test them is crucial. So that they put all of their oils through 7 different batches of tests, 7 different tests. And they're also very transparent about their testing. Each bottle, some of these are older bottles that are empty. So it's not on here. Oh, wait, here we go. Here's a new one. Each bottle has this little icon that you can actually scan it, but you can also, there is, I can't even see with my glasses and the lighting in here, but there's a SKU number on here that you can go onto their website, put that SKU number in, and it will show you all of the testing on that specific bottle. So that's pretty cool. There's no other company that's transparent about their testing. So that's pretty cool. So that's why it's really important to choose your products really, really wisely. Okay, now the next thing that I want to go over is we kind of went over what if you get an oil that feels too hot or intense. Less is more, which is really important. A little bit goes a long way. never put the oils in your eyes, ears, or nose. So not inside an orifice on your body, okay? So just for topical, not inside any area. So let's just go right into the most common problems that people suffer from. And I know that you'll be able to identify with one, if not many, of these issues. So the first one is sleep. So sleep is crucial to our overall health, right? If we don't get the proper amount of rest, all of the breakdown that our body has been going through just from everything that it's been exposed to throughout the day, we can't, our cells can't restore and recover and give us the energy that we need, the vitality that we need if we're not getting that good. Generally 7 up to 9 hours of sleep. Everybody's a little bit different, but less than that and even more than that, unless you're a child, growing child, less than that or more than that is actually not good for you. So you want to try to get in that 7 to 9 hour range. Now, if you're somebody who has a hard time going to sleep or falling asleep, there are a few different oils and a few different ways that you can use them. So the first one that we typically start with is lavender. Okay, lavender, most people know, is very calming and very soothing. What I like to do with the lavender is I place a couple of drops in the diffuser. I start the diffuser about anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes before it's time to go to bed to kind of fill the room with the aromatic compounds. It smells really good. And then when I lay down or go to bed, I also do this for the kids. Just take the lavender, put 1 drop in your hand, put a drop or 2 of carrier oil, rub it together, and then rub it on your feet or your kids' feet. I usually typically also rub it kind of like this on my neck because it smells really good. So I'm not only getting the aromatic benefit of breathing that in, but I'm also getting the topical benefit of the topical absorption of it. So that is kind of your first go-to number 1 suggestion would be lavender. Now, another one of my favorites, and I don't think that I have it in here, but another favorite for sleep is a blend called Serenity. Serenity is the restful blend, and it has lavender in it, but it also has things like cedarwood and vetiver and vanilla, and oh my gosh, it smells amazing. So often I will diffuse Serenity. Sometimes I just switch up the sleep oils that I use. So Serenity is another great choice. And then Serenity also comes in a soft gel. So you can actually take it internally. If you really have a hard time going to sleep, I tend to use it kind of as needed when I go sleep in a hotel room or somewhere that I know I'm not going to sleep well. Otherwise, I don't need it every night. I just diffuse and I use the oils topically and I'm good and I sleep really well. So if you need, hey Anastasia, oh, thank you. You're so sweet. I know we all need all the oils, don't we? Seriously, I have a whole box sitting right here on my desk. Can't have too many. But Serenity soft gels are really amazing, especially for people who really have a hard time going to sleep. They're safe to take every day. You take 2 of them about 30 minutes before you're ready to go to sleep, and really it helps promote a really restful night's sleep. So the other nice thing I just want to mention before I move on to the next kind of top concern is these are safe for the whole family. That's what's so amazing. These can be used on your whole family. You can use them. You can dilute them a little bit heavier for your kids. You can even use them on your pets. I mean, they are safe and effective. That's really key, right? They have to be effective. And guys, I want to say one thing. If you are just jumping on and listening in, I'm going to be doing a giveaway at the end. So please comment. Let me know that you're here so that I can enter you for the giveaway. And I'll tell you what that is at the end also. Okay, the next concern is stress. I mean, like, hello, raise your hand, seriously, if you ever experience stress on a daily basis, right? I mean, we just live in a stressful world. Anything from work to kids to just maintaining a house. I mean, everything, my goodness, is these days is kind of stressful. And so if we can reach for something natural that works with our body, that helps to restore balance in our body and helps to relax us and calm us, wouldn't that be ideal? And I didn't mention this earlier. Sometimes people ask, like, well, how are these different than pharmaceuticals, than medications that we get? So, yeah, Jamie, raise your hand, huh? Right? Especially with your job. I know that your job is stressful. So, again, the way that they work with your body, they restore balance, and then they help your body to heal itself, which is the way that God designed our bodies. That's what our bodies were intended to do when they're provided with the right things, right? When they have the right support, our bodies can heal themselves. And so that's how the oils are different. Often pharmaceuticals just put a Band-Aid on the problem. So pharmaceuticals, you know, and I'm a healthcare professional, and not that I don't believe. Oh, wow, sorry. Let me fix my camera here. That was really loud. Hold on, guys. Bear with me for a second. Okay, I have it attached to my computer, and okay, my stand broke, and so I had to attach it with this suction thing to my computer. Let me just make sure it's stuck on there. Okay, I think we're back in business. Okay. Knocked down some stuff on my desk, but we're all good. Okay, so as I was saying, I totally believe in traditional medicine. I mean, that's part of what I do, but I think if we can merge the two and we can reach for something natural first that works with our body that is effective, then that's the way to go. Instead of just putting a Band-Aid on the issue, we want to get at the root cause of the problem and help our bodies to heal itself or themselves. Okay, so back to stress. So lavender would be a top choice for stress. Lavender is calming. It's very soothing. It's very relaxing. So just applying some lavender topically would be great if you feel stressed out. Also diffusing it. And one of the things that I love about diffusing the oils is you have the opportunity to affect your whole environment. So here's what I mean by that. Maybe in your house, your husband doesn't want you applying oils to him, or he's like, I don't know what that stuff is. I don't want to use that. Or maybe in your work environment, people are kind of skeptical and, but they come in and they're in a bad mood and you're like, I just want to lift the mood. I just want everybody to be happy. Well, when you diffuse the oils, everybody that comes in that vicinity of that diffuser gets the benefit of them, right? So that's one thing that I absolutely love, is that we can affect not only ourselves, but we can affect the whole environment just by diffusing oils. So I want to share with you one of my favorite oils for diffusing for stress and also applying topically, and that is Balance. Balance is called the grounding blend, and it's very grounding to our emotions. And I found that this one works really well with kids, because often when kids, especially young kids, well, not just young, but especially little kids, when they don't know how to handle the emotions that they're feeling, they act out. And we just kind of sometimes think they're being brats. We're like, what is wrong with you? But honestly, a lot of times it's that they don't know how to handle the emotions that they're feeling. So applying some balance either to their feet or just to the spine or diffusing it really helps to ground those emotions, and you can really see a big difference in their attitude and the way that they're acting just from grounding those emotions. So I would definitely encourage you, not only just for the kids, but for the mamas and really anybody, Balance is a great choice. Now, one thing that I failed to mention that I want to mention before I forget is there are a few oils, and it's mainly the blends that aren't meant to be ingested. No matter how pure the product is, it's that, usually it's something like there's a tree oil in it that just isn't meant for ingestion. The way that you know that you can ingest the oils is that they have, I'm going to take lavender again, that they have this little label on the side that says supplemental facts. It's just like a food label. So lavender can be ingested, but let's take Balance that we were just talking about. If you look at the bottle of Balance, that supplemental facts is not on the bottle. So if it has supplemental facts, you can ingest it. If it does not have supplemental facts, then it's only meant for topical and aromatic use. Okay, so now another nice one that I love to use for stress that pairs really well with Balance is wild orange. Believe it or not, wild orange, it smells delicious too. Wild orange and Balance, I keep it in mixed up. I don't have it in here with me, but I keep it mixed up in a little roller bottle like this. And just a lot of times I apply the oils personally to my wrist because it's kind of like a perfume, like you think about a perfume. And I'll just kind of rub my wrist together and then just breathe in, because again, you're getting that aromatic benefit and also the topical benefit. And wild orange and Balance smell amazing together. So that's another really, really good combination. Okay, let's move on to the next kind of concern that many people face, myself included, and that is digestive issues. So the first oil that I ever experienced 5.5 years ago was DigestZen. Yes, Lori, you love Balance and wild orange is what you're talking about, right? I think you love Balance and wild orange. My comments are a little bit delayed. Okay, so I want to talk about DigestZen. This is the digestive blend, and this is the first oil that I ever experienced. It was given to me, and I rubbed it topically on my stomach when I was having some stomach cramping and pain. And within, I would say, a minute or so, it started to ease off and go away. Naturally, I was a little bit skeptical, probably like many of you who, if you're not already using oils, you're like, do those really work? Well, trust me, I was there. I totally get it. But I looked into it and I thought, these are 100% pure. They're natural. There's no synthetics. There's no toxins. What do I have to lose? Why would I not try something that works with my body to see if it's effective? So I got a kit and started using them and experimenting for everything. And the rest is really history. Now, this is all we use. I mean, this is what we do, and it works. So 5.5 years later, still doing it. It's still super effective. So DigestZen is a blend of oils that is great for any kind of digestive issue. And this is a really good example of how the oils restore balance, because this particular blend of oils can be used for anything from diarrhea to constipation, to reflux, to bloating, pain, gas pains. The reason that it can be used for two opposite ends of the spectrum, like diarrhea and constipation, is because the oils, again, restore balance and help our bodies come back into what we call homeostasis, which just means balance, and help our bodies to heal themselves, to correct the underlying problem, so to speak. So that's another amazing thing about it. You can have one oil that can be used to treat multiple things, which is pretty cool, right? So this one can be used topically, just over the abdomen, like I said. If somebody's experiencing a lot of like acid reflux symptoms, then I will have them dilute it with a little bit of carrier oil and apply it just along the sternum, kind of like right where you would feel that the kind of burning symptoms that you get typically with reflux. Or you can make a capsule like I showed you earlier, or we do have the convenience now that these DigestZen, that this blend comes in a soft gel. So this makes it super easy. So sometimes people have chronic stomach issues, right? That they need to take something every single day. And typically, if that's the case, like for something like reflux, let's say, then the soft gel is really kind of the way to go, because it's just convenience and ease of being able to just take it every day and not having to make a capsule. But making a capsule is totally easy. It takes like 2 seconds. So you have options there. Anastasia said, amen. Oils changed my life and my mom came. Yes, I no longer live in fear of sick children. Yes, getting near my kids. First line of defense, we use them in every bedroom in our home. So true and so important. It's so funny because I didn't have these when my kids were born, and I was the biggest germaphobe. Like, seriously, I didn't take them anywhere for like 6 months. Like, I literally didn't take them anywhere. I was so afraid that they were going to get sick. I was afraid somebody's going to touch them with their nasty hands. And so I love that you mentioned that it's given you freedom, really, to not be afraid and to live in fear of your kids getting sick. Because, I mean, the bottom line is, we're all going to be exposed to something. We're all going to, at some time or other, get sick. Our kids are going to get sick. But if we have these tools on hand and we're prepared and we're armed and we're ready, then it just takes the pressure off, and we feel more confident about the choices that we have and the choices that we can make that are better for our family anyway. So that was a really good point. Okay, next, let's talk about, this is really important for this time of year, let's talk about immune support. So in order to hopefully fight off all the stuff that we're going to be exposed to, we need a really healthy immune system. So we got to boost that immune system as much as possible. So there are 2 favorite oils, and these are kind of, I'm not only going over the top health concerns, but I'm going over the top oils that can be used for these and a multitude of other things. So this is kind of like your 101 basics of where to start and how you can incorporate some of these oils for the different conditions. So boosting the immune system. One of my favorite oils for that is the protective blend called On Guard. Well, this smells amazing. First of all, it has cinnamon, clove, it has wild orange, rosemary, and it really smells kind of fallish and Christmassy to me. But using this, diffusing it, is one that it's antibacterial, it's antiviral, so it really will rid the air of those germs. So this one is kind of a must-have, in my opinion, especially this time of year. Now, use it so you can diffuse it. Then you can also apply it topically. I love to just put a little bit on the bottom of our feet. I typically keep it in a roller just to make it super easy and convenient. But put it on my feet, the kids' feet, at night before we go to bed. Or you could do it in the morning. Either way is totally fine. But just that daily kind of immune boost is what you want. The other thing about On Guard, doTERRA has a whole line of On Guard products because they are so effective at cleansing. Remember I said this blend is antibacterial and antiviral. So I literally clean my whole house with On Guard. And there have actually been research studies showing that it kills MRSA. So it's highly, highly effective. So it's one that's kind of like must have, always have on hand, don't run out. The next oil that is amazing for immune boosting is frankincense. Now, frankincense is your king of oils, what we call the king of oils. And the reason is, the saying kind of goes, if you ever are in doubt and you don't know what to use for a specific issue, just use frankincense, because it can be used for pretty much anything and it's highly effective. So the reason that not only does frankincense have immune boosting properties, it is highly, highly anti-inflammatory. So most diseases and kind of the root of any condition that we have, inflammation is at the root of it. So the least amount of inflammation that we have in our body, the healthier we'll be, the less chance we are to develop diseases and so on. So I use the frankincense the same way. Sometimes I'll even keep them both, On Guard and frankincense, mixed together in a roller. But just topically, you can apply it topically. Or you can also, I like to drop 2 drops of frankincense under my tongue for just kind of a more concentrated effect every day for that decrease in inflammation and that immune boosting. It is a little bit of a strong flavor that you kind of have to get used to, but it's not that bad once you get used to it. So you can take this one internally. You can certainly diffuse it, and you can also apply it topically. Okay, now let's say you do these, you use these immune boosting oils, but you really get exposed to something that your immune system just didn't fight off. What are you going to do? And this is where it's so key to have these tools on hand during this time of year, because otherwise you're going to find yourself sitting in a med stop with a bunch of other sick people and sick kids, or going to the doctor again, when you don't feel like it because you're already sick, and you're exposing other people to what you have, and you're getting exposed to other stuff. So having these tools on hand up front is really takes some of that pressure off and lets you know that you can feel confident that if somebody comes down with something, you've got something to treat it. So there is a blend. Let me get the oils, and I'm going to share it with you, that is so highly effective. I might be missing one of them in here, but that's okay. I'm going to tell you what it is. Okay, so this blend is called Floom, Floom, and it's just an acronym that stands for frankincense, lemon, On Guard, I'm missing my oregano, that's the other O, and Melaleuca. So it's 5 oils: frankincense, lemon, On Guard, oregano, Melaleuca. Okay, so these oils have antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal properties. They decrease inflammation. Lemon is one that helps to break up mucus. So how when you're congested, when you're sick, lemon will help to break up the mucus. So this combo is just like your go-to use, or go-to blend, I should say, for anytime you feel like you're getting sick. If you're coming down, it doesn't matter if it's a cold, the flu, whatever it is, this is what you want to use. Now, there are 2 ways that you can do this. You can keep this blend mixed up in a roller bottle, and I keep that at all times because that's what I typically use for the kids. Keep it mixed in a roller bottle, just diluted with some fractionated coconut oil. And you'll just start rolling it on the feet or along the spine at kind of the first signs of sickness is what I like to do. And I'll use it every 2 to 3 hours, depending upon, if they do come down with something, I'm going to use it every 2 to 3 hours. Because one thing that I do want to mention, the oils are so effective at working with our bodies that our bodies use them up. They recognize them, they know how to use them, and they use them up very quickly. So we need to apply them more frequently than we would a pharmaceutical, because pharmaceutical medications, you can only take Tylenol every 4 to 6 hours, because your body would build up toxicity from the synthetics in it, from the active ingredients in it. Whereas the oils, our bodies know how to use them. They work with our bodies, that they're used up very quickly. So we just need to apply more frequently. Okay. So that Floom is how we kind of refer to it, abbreviate it. Keep it in a roller bottle, or you can put it in one of those veggie caps. I typically do 2 to 3 drops of each of the 5 oils, and take that about every 3 hours, at least 3 times a day is what I would do. And usually everything's gone by usually 2 days, maybe 3, depending upon how bad it was. But think about how much time that would save you with going to the doctor, taking off work, feeling terrible, not to mention that, and money. Think about how much money that would save you, because these oils are pennies per drop. Just to give you an example, I know right off the top of my head, Melaleuca is 8 cents per drop. 8 cents. So imagine how much you could save, and not only how much better you're supporting your body versus going and getting an antibiotic that wipes out all the good bacteria in your body. Okay, so that is a go-to, must have, especially during this time of year. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about that people can suffer from this time of year also is seasonal threats. So things like itchy eyes, watery nose, headache, congestion, stuffiness. Your go-to blend for seasonal threats is lemon, lavender, and peppermint. These 3 oils, lemon, lavender, and peppermint, is the seasonal blend. And so basically I do this exact same thing. Keep it in a roller bottle, mixed up equal parts with diluted with fractionated coconut oil, or you can take it in a capsule. Now, lemon, I mentioned earlier, has kind of that ability to break up the mucus. It has what we call mucolytic properties, so it works well for the seasonal threats. Lavender has antihistamine properties. So that's why we have those symptoms when, we have, we're having those seasonal threats or in a reaction to something. It's from the histamine release. So lavender has antihistamine properties. And then peppermint is great for kind of reducing some of the swelling and constriction that you get that's causing the stuffiness. So this is just like a perfect combination, lemon, lavender, and peppermint. So you can, again, use that topically, or you can take it internally. Now, if you are someone who has to take something for this, like, prescription medication or something over the counter, like year round or frequently, they do make that combination, lemon, lavender, and peppermint, in a soft gel. It's called Tri-Ease. And again, this is just for like ease of taking it. If it was something you needed every day, you could just pop the soft gel, take that once or twice a day. So that makes it super easy and convenient. Okay, next up, guys, is skin issues. So we all, from time to time, have skin issues, right? Whether it's a breakout on the skin, or could be like fine lines and wrinkles that you just want to, look a little better. Who doesn't want like glowing, beautiful skin with less fine lines and wrinkles? I mean, like I do, So 3 of the best oils to use for the skin. This also includes, eczema, psoriasis, any kind of scrapes, cuts, burns, anything like that. Your 3 main oils for the skin are going to be lavender. I mean, guys, if you get like a bug bite or a burn, especially in the kitchen, a wasp sting, anything like that, lavender is your go-to. It's super soothing to the skin. And I've used it in the kitchen so many times when I burn myself. It takes the burn away almost instantly. I mean, it's just really highly effective. Melaleuca is another one that's really great for any breakouts on the skin. If you have any little, breakouts on your face, I'll put Melaleuca directly on those areas. And it's very effective. It also, because it is antibacterial, if we have some kind of cut or scrape, I like to use the lavender and the Melaleuca together, because you're getting the soothing from the lavender, and then you're getting that antibacterial properties, antiseptic properties from the Melaleuca. So that's a really good combo. Okay, frankincense. Frankincense is my third must-have skin oil. Any kind of inflammation, remember I said frankincense was highly anti-inflammatory. So any kind of inflammation, frankincense is going to be great for. So this little combo, lavender, Melaleuca, and frankincense, if I ever have someone who is suffering from eczema or psoriasis and looking for a blend to use, that's the go-to. Melaleuca, lavender, and frankincense mixed with some coconut oil. And apply it directly to the areas. And it was highly effective. It works very well. Now, I want to say one more thing about frankincense. Frankincense is great for fine lines and wrinkles, and just kind of promoting that really nice, smooth, and even skin tone, glowing skin. I like to put frankincense in my moisturizer or in just some coconut oil, and just use that as the moisturizer on my face. It works really well. So try that. I think you'll absolutely love it. Okay. Next, aches and pains. I mean, who doesn't have aches and pains, right? Especially the older you get, I notice that you get more aches and pains. So first, I want to talk about head tension. Fortunately, thank the Lord, that's not something that I suffer with a lot. But I know so many people that suffer with head tension every day. Some people have migraines. Some people just have simple, headaches and things like that. But whenever you feel discomfort in that area, one of your go-to oils is peppermint. Peppermint is very effective for head tension. So I like to just apply the peppermint. I typically keep it, it comes in a roller like this for ease of use, or, you could make your own, but just roll it right along. I kind of do it right along my hairline because you don't want to get too close to the eyes because, you can have some burning and stinging if you were to get it in your eye, of course. So right along the hairline. The other place that I like to apply the oils for head tension is along the back of my neck, because if you notice, often when you have head tension, it's from tension in the neck and the shoulders. And so if you can just kind of massage it into that area, it really helps the overall discomfort to go away. So peppermint would be one to use. Frankincense is actually another one that is good for head tension. You can actually use it internally. You can actually, some people will even take the frankincense, put a drop on the finger, and then press it into the roof of the mouth. Some people find that is very effective for them. And then one other one that I love that is a blend that doTERRA makes for head tension is called Past Tense. And it comes just like this in a pre-diluted roller. And it has things like wintergreen. I can't see because of the lighting in here, y'all. It's got peppermint, wintergreen. I don't know. I can't read the rest of them. Sorry. But that's what I mainly smell. I know it's got cilantro in it too. But I mainly smell the wintergreen and the peppermint when I smell it. But again, you could just go right here along the hairline and then, kind of rub that in a little bit, and then on your neck for the tension. And that's really effective. It works really well. Okay, the last thing that I want to talk about, the last kind of concern that I see that people experience a lot or come and ask me, what can I use for this? And that is fatigue and no energy. So I think that if you ask most people, they would tell you that they would love to have more energy. Even if they don't come out and say, I'm tired all the time, there's probably not many people that would say they would not enjoy more energy, right? So first, let's talk about some oils that can be used, and then I want to tell you about a supplement that is amazing. So in terms of oils, what could you use for energy and just to kind of wake you up, energize you, and give you kind of a little more pep in your step, so to speak. So citrus oils are great for this. Citrus oils are very uplifting and very energizing. So my two go-to citrus oils, you could diffuse these together, would be lemon and wild orange. Another option for you would be to just place a drop of one or both in your hand, rub them together, and then you just want to cup your hands over your mouth, and then you'll just breathe in, and you'll really feel, basically you can kind of feel your airways open a little bit, and you can just really feel that you begin to kind of wake up and have more energy just by using, again, breathing these in. They go into the center in our brain, the limbic system in our brain that affects our mood and our emotions. And so that's how smell can really affect you just really instantaneously. Now, my probably favorite though for just the real energy piece, yes, Jamie just nailed a favorite blend, is wild orange and peppermint. Diffusing wild orange and peppermint in the morning is, yeah, I agree with you, absolute best way to get the day started. Wake your house up. Typically us women, moms, we're up before everybody. Put a couple of drops of wild orange and peppermint in your diffuser, and maybe I do it on my kind of island in the kitchen where we sit and have breakfast, and get that going, and everybody just kind of wakes up. It smells amazing, and it just kind of starts the day off in a good way. Now, I use peppermint by itself just for the energizing. Peppermint is really great, especially if you have eaten a large meal. Let's say it's lunchtime and you got to go back to work, and you're like, oh my gosh, you got that kind of food coma, like you eat too many carbs and you're like, oh my gosh, I just want to go to sleep. Take a drop of peppermint, especially if you don't have a diffuser around you. Just take a drop of peppermint, put it in your hand, rub it together, And then just inhale and then rub the rest on the back of your neck. It's really cooling, peppermint is, and it just really helps to energize you and wake you up. I use it that way also before exercise because, I mean, who doesn't want more energy before you go exercise? Or maybe you need a little motivation to get you going, then use your peppermint. It's really, really good. It smells so good. Okay, now I want to tell you about some supplements that I personally cannot live without. I was not, honestly, when I first started using the oils, I didn't really recognize the benefit of having and using supplements. I just kind of thought I eat healthy. I don't really need, any supplements, but that's actually not true. The way that our food system is now, the way that our foods are processed, the condition of the soil that our foods are grown in is really when we get by the time we get our food and ingest it, even if we're talking about fresh food, it is devoid of a lot of nutrients that our bodies need. So supplementation is the foundation to health. It is key. And so one of the supplements that I take, it actually comes in a pack. It's called the Lifelong Vitality Pack. And there are 3 different pills in this pack. And I'm going to go over what each one is and what the benefit of them is. So I started taking these it probably was about 2 years after I started using the oils. So that means I've been taking them for about 3.5 years. And I've ran out of them before. And I'll tell you that I will never go back to not taking these because of the way that I feel. I feel better now and have more energy now than I ever remember having in my 30s, 20s. I mean, I just feel amazing. And I attribute a lot of that. Yes, it's diet and exercise, but I attribute a lot of it to this Lifelong Vitality Pack. That's what this is called, the Lifelong Vitality Pack. So the first thing that is in this pack is your basically vitamins and minerals that are crucial for everyone to have on a daily basis. Most people don't get proper nutrition anyway. This has 12 servings of fruits and vegetables. And those 12 servings of fruits and vegetables have lots of antioxidants in them, which is what we want, because all the free radicals that we're exposed to that are in our body, that's what causes disease and things like cancer. So the more antioxidants we can get in our diet, the better off we are. And I guarantee most people, myself included, do not eat 12 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables every day. I mean, it's kind of hard to do that. So you're getting that in this Microplex. It's called Microplex MVP. So that's kind of like your vitamin, mineral, antioxidants. Now, the one thing to know that is key about these supplements is that they are 100% bioavailable. So what does that mean? That means that your body recognizes every single ingredient and knows how to use it. That means there are 0 synthetics in these. Now, when you go and you buy a multivitamin over the counter, most all of those have synthetics in them. And your body is not really absorbing any of the nutrients that are in there, any of the vitamins and minerals, because of the synthetics. So you're really not getting anything from it. So you really have to make sure that you have a high quality product, first of all, because these things aren't FDA regulated. Okay, next thing that's in here is your omegas. So this is your fish oil, flaxseed oil. Most people are familiar with that. A lot of people take that as an additional supplement, and it's key. It's crucial. It's crucial for brain health, heart health, gut health, our immune system, joints, eyes, skin. I mean, you name it, you have to have healthy fat. Healthy fat is essential. We were programmed for a long time to think fat is bad. And sure, the wrong kind of fat is bad, but healthy fat is crucial and essential to healthy cell function and to energy and vitality. So you really have to have those healthy fats. And then the third and final component is something called alpha CRS. So when you think of this, I just want you to think healthy cells. This promotes healthy cells, and that's where we get a lot of the energy. So this little nutrient pack, Lifelong Vitality Pack, gives you energy. if you ever notice when you take a multivitamin over the counter, you take it probably because you think it's the right thing to do, or the doctor told you to take one, whatever the case may be. You take it and you don't feel any different. Nothing changes for you, right? Well, what I love is the reason that those don't work is because you're not getting the nutrients from them because they have synthetics in them. So what I love that doTERRA does, they're the largest essential oil company in the world, but their best-selling product is this Lifelong Vitality Pack. And the reason for that is how highly effective it is, how foundational to health it is, but also they give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. That if you do not have more energy and or less pain, so this is really good for people with chronic pain because it's so anti-inflammatory. If you don't have more energy or less pain, they'll give you your money back. I've never, in all of the people that I've helped in 5.5 years, had anybody to send them back. They're pretty amazing. So I would highly encourage you, just for foundation of health, to take the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and especially if you're looking for energy. Definitely, then you need the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and you can use your peppermint and wild orange and lemon along with that for the energy. So those are kind of the top health concerns that I see, that people ask me about, that most people suffer with or have suffered with from time to time, or somebody in their family does. Please post questions that you have. We're going to be on for just a couple more minutes because I want to tell you about a special, and then I'm going to tell you what I'm giving away too. So post any comments that you have, and I'll be happy to answer them. If you're just jumping on, let me know that you're here if you want to be entered for the giveaway. So how does this all work? How do you get some of these oils? Okay. So doTERRA offers a wholesale membership. The wholesale membership is $35 for the year. And what that $35 gets you is 25% off all the products for the year. And it also gets you access to our private wellness community. Now, that is key, because if you go and you purchase, let's say, some oils over the counter, which aren't good quality, number one. But number two, there's no kind of guide that comes with them. There's no one helping guide you through how to use them, right? So you really need a guide for that. And that's why it's great to join a community. We have weekly education, tons of resources, and you have someone to guide you through how to use them and how to incorporate them into your lifestyle. When you go to renew the membership in a year, it's $25, and you get a free 15 milliliter bottle of peppermint oil. So it's really almost like a free membership. So that's how it works. That's how you get these oils. Now, you have a choice. You can start with a kit, a starter kit. There are several starter kits. And if you start with, it's called an enrollment kit. I'll post some of the most popular ones in the comments once I jump off. But if you start with a kit, you don't pay the $35. Okay, so it's kind of like a way to bundle everything together that's really cost effective. And the kits that I'm going to post that are the most popular, if you have the oils in these kits, you can pretty much treat 80% of anything that comes up. And then the other thing about the membership is they offer a loyalty rewards program, which is a monthly program that you can choose to opt into. It's free, but it's only for members. And this is kind of, think of it like a frequent flyer mile program. You get points to use towards free stuff. You're not obligated to order every month. A lot of people will ask that. Well, what if I can't order, or you're not obligated to order every month? You can order as little or as much as you want, and you can participate in any of their promotions. So I want to tell you about the promotion that's going on this month because it's pretty amazing. All of their products have a product value attached to them. It's called PV, product value. And oils are dollar for product value. So if an oil costs $10, it's 10 PV. Some of the other products aren't quite equal dollar for product value. But if you place a 200 PV order, product value order, you get a free car diffuser and you get 3 free oils. I actually have them right here. You get clementine, you get kumquat, and you get red mandarin. And y'all, these are awesome. They're all citrus oils. They smell amazing. They taste amazing. You can drink them in your water. I absolutely love these oils. So that you can get totally free this month just with a 200 PV order. Now, if you didn't want one of those enrollment kits, if you didn't want to start that way, you can always do the $35 wholesale membership and then just add whatever oils you want. Maybe you want to just focus on some seasonal symptoms and you want to, get lemon, lavender, and peppermint. You can do that. So there are lots of different options. And if you're not already working with someone that's helping guide you through this process, then just private message me and I'll be happy to help you, decide what you need, customize what's right for you, and then just guide you and lead you through the process. So I'm so thankful for all of you who joined tonight. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you do have questions after we jump off, then please post them in the comments and I will look through and I'll be happy to answer them. So I'm going to give away a bottle of lemon. So lemon is one of those must-haves. You can never have too much lemon. It's amazing. And this is great, again, to put in your drink in your water for a daily detox. You can clean your house with it. Tons of things that you can do with lemon. So I'll be choosing a winner and I'll post that in the comments. So guys, thanks for joining me. This was the first of 5 classes that I'm doing in the next 2 weeks. And you'll see in the class that are in this group, they'll all be in this event. That's the word I was looking for. They'll all be in this event. Each class will be, and we'll be doing a class on immune support, cold and flu season, how to stay well. And I'm going to be giving you tips that are things other than just oils. So just kind of how to incorporate more natural health in general. We'll also talk, one class will be on pain and inflammation. We'll do a women's health and hormones, and then we'll also do a kids class. So I hope you guys will join me for those. And again, let me know if you have any questions and I'll be happy to help. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Bye.